Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Clarice. That was a good presentation. Um, Thank you again for getting me involved in this discussion. What I'm presenting here is based on my long-term observations as Balinese and Balinese being raised in to rear poultry, especially chicken, both culturally as well as commercially. Culturally, I was raised in a family of men who are fans of cockfighting, or so they naturally I basically was raised around a lot of cage roosters. At least in my own family, there will be, my dad will have about 10 of them, and he tend them and then he trade them, and he's always given me all kinds of reasons or maybe excuses when I was a little bit older already, when I was a teenager, and I started questioning him, why are you doing cockfighting? And then he was giving me reasons that, look, I have no interest in watching movie or surfing like you, and this is my hobby, and I actually take care of my roosters very well, and all very healthy, and laid out all the detail that is required to raise a good roosters, as well as the intricate social relationship that he has with all of his cockfighting, which is beyond just cockfighting. It's a lot more than that. That will I present better in the slide. Commercially, I also got involved with my family that is raised something like 8,000 to 10,000 poultry, and my job as kids with my cousins back then was feeding and also collecting eggs and and other small management that children can get involved. So later in my career in public health, I had a chance to do research on the roles of cockfighting fan in distributions of HIV and STDs among men's and populations are most at-risk population that is namely commercial sex workers, female commercial sex workers, and drug users. Um, Next slide, please. So when I when I was asked by Robbins about gender and and poultry rearing, so I was looking at it from what evidence that is actually in the that is exists related to poultries in my culture, in my Balinese cultures. And there are certainly some gender issue in Balinese or Indonesian society in general, that even poultry that is so close to our life has to be addressed to 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 the gender of men and women, and and unfortunately all of the address to women's always demeaning to the status of women in society. I mean, uh, to give one example, what, you know why a cluck of a chicken has to be uh, to be associated with the voice of women. Like women, it seems like that you are not worth of to listen to. Of course, in practice, it's not that that's strict in Balinese society, but addressing it that way, somehow it's a signs of there are some subtle or sometimes obvious gender disparity here. But on the other hand, men's roosters crow, it 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 perceives to be so important because it's providing you with time to wake up and marking the time for people to wake up and starting the activities. But other than that, there are lists of them that we can see, which probably also applied to other other culture. Next slide. Culturally, in Balinese society, poultry, chicken especially, it's very important. Chicken, from the start, as a Balinese, we basically were, the first gift was chicken, a chick, and a small chick was basically presented to us as as a substitute for the soul that is coming, embodying human. So if there is any bad intention from from the surrounding, that the spirit of the chicken will take care of it. Um, and and in practice, we end up basically everybody has to take care of that chicken to survive, because it will provide the protection to the baby, which is started in 6 months, 6 month age. And at the end, until I was grow up, I was told that the chicken that is in my care was the descendants of a chicken that was used as a substitute for my spirit when the ceremony was performed. And another thing that is a cockfighting, which is very big in Bali. It's part of a it's part of a culture. I would like to try to say that I'm not oblivious about the bad part of of the cockfighting. I'm not glorifying it over here, but there are some part of the cockfighting as a culture that is actually um, 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 that is so close to the community, uh, that actually determining the order of the society sometime, when you go to a cockfighting, for example, it's the center of it, it's about trust or a friendship among men. So you go to the cockfighting, and you make sure that you're not betting against your own kin if you do cockfighting outside of a village. And you make sure, for example, you have to adhere with the other social norm. For example, you don't flaunt your when you're winning in a in a cockfighting to the other older. And in terms of technical and skill in the cockfighting, roosters is a skill to groom. But later on, when the victorious roosters are actually let free and become some of the main male around the flock that is actually producing, to be expected to produce better chicks in the future. Um, but there are some, of course, social consequences of cockfighting in relation to health risk taking behavior, and also now with COVID, that cockfighting usually form clusters of transmission. Next, please. Um, Economically, it's very apparent that poultry rearings is very contribute a lot. Traditionally, um, traditionally, women usually are a lot more meticulous in this technique, in this part of it. They know that they know the ability of how many chicken that they have to rear. If it is more than 30 chicken, it will basically uh, um, they will basically say that, well, the disease probably will get it, which is Newcastle disease, or the neighbors, because we let them roaming free, the neighbors will probably get more of it. So take care of just a small amount that you can actually take care properly. Commercially, it could be large. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So in public health, yes, as I mentioned before, that cockfighting sometimes could be a hubs of HIV and STD distributions among men who's winning. And
Please wrap up. 1 minute.
I think I will stop there. Thank you.